Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Dunn. I wanted to talk about inequalities today. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about graphing an inequality, and then we're going to look a little bit at the word problems. What we're going to do is translate some words into inequalities. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to point out the difference between an equation and an inequality, and specifically the graphs of each of these. So with an equation, and you did that in the first chapter, with the equation, if we want to graph 2x plus 3y equals 12, I would recommend that you find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And the x-intercept would be 6, the y-intercept would be 4, and we would graph the line through those intercepts. And this line represents all of the solutions to this equation. So every point on this line is a solution to the equation. Okay, now let's compare that to the inequality. If we're going to graph the inequality, we start out the same way by graphing the equation 2x plus 3y equals 12. But with the inequality, for this inequality specifically, because it has a line under here, all of these points are solutions to this inequality. But what's also a solution is any point that lies in this region below that line, anything that I've shaded in yellow. Let's look at a couple examples. So for example, if we take this point, and the coordinates of this point are negative 10, 0. When we take that point and we plug it into that equation, 2 times negative 10 plus 3 times 0, plugging negative 10 in for x and 0 in for y, we'll see that negative 20 plus 0 is not equal to 12. So that equation is incorrect. That point is not a solution to this equation. But let's look at that point over here on the right. That point, negative 10, 0. Let's plug it into the inequality. Well, 2 times negative 10 is negative 20, and negative 20 plus 0 is less than 12. It does work in the inequality. So negative 10, 0 is a solution. And we can see that from the graph because it's in the yellow shaded area. Okay, now let's do one from start to finish. So we have this inequality, 5x plus 7y is less than or equal to 35. Remember, we're going to start this by graphing the equation. So the x-intercept would be 7, the y-intercept would be 5, and we draw that line. Okay, now we have to determine, should I be shading above the line or below the line? What we do is we check a point. An easy point to check, if it's possible, sometimes you can't pick it because it's on the line, but you have to pick a point that's not on the line, and an easy one would be the origin. So we're going to check 0, 0. That's the origin, right? So you're going to plug 0 in for x and 0 in for y in that inequality. So 5 times 0 plus 7 times 0 is 0, and 0 is less than 35. So that checked out. So that means that that point, 0, 0, is a solution to this inequality. So since this point is a solution, we're going to shade everything in that region. And so the solution region is everything that's shaded. Okay, let's do a couple examples from the homework so you know how to do it on your homework. Okay, so in your homework, I wanted to look at number 6 first. So that's that same equation that we just solved, the one that we did together, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to click to enlarge the graph. We're going to draw a line. We're going to plot those intercepts. So remember, the x-intercept was 7. The y-intercept was 5. Just check those points, 0, 5 and 7, 0. So that's the equation of a line. Oops, I forgot something. So now what we have to do is we have to do our shading. So we're going to pick the paint can. Remember, we determined that 0, 0 works. So we're going to paint on this side of the line. I simply just click the paint can and fill in that region. I'll save it and check my answer, and it was correct. I want to go back to question number 5 because that's a different kind of question. I want to show you this. So it says, graph the following inequality. X is greater than or equal to -4. So I'll click to enlarge the graph. I'm going to draw the line, and now I'm drawing the line that is x is equal to -4. So that's this straight line that goes through -4. Now where should I be shading? Check the origin. Does 0, 0 work? Is 0 bigger than -4? It is. So I'm going to empty the paint on this side of the line. Okay? I hope that helps. Okay, I wanted to skip to one other problem that I wanted to show you. This one asks you to graph the inequality 2x plus 4y is less than 8. So we'll click to enlarge the graph. The x-intercept is 4. Now this time, when I go to draw this line, I'm going to pick the line tool, but I need the line to be dotted. The reason why it's dotted is because there isn't a line under this less than. This is just less than. So the points on this line are not going to be solutions. So the x-intercept was 4. The y-intercept is 2. Notice this drew a dotted line. The reason why this line is dotted is there is no equality part to this inequality, right? Check the origin, 0, 0 to 0, 0 work, and it does. So we're going to empty the paint can on this side of the line. Okay? All right. So now let me go back and let's do some problems, about some word problems. Okay. So I took these from your book and I just want to go through these 10 examples. So a lot of students struggle with converting the words into an inequality. So it says there are fewer than 10 applicants. So I would pick A for my variable. So A will be equal to the number of applicants. And the number of applicants is less than 10. Fewer than 10. A is less than 10. The next one is she consumes no more than 900 calories per day. So I'm going to make C my variable. But if she can't consume more than 900 calories, is she allowed to consume 900 calories? She is. So there's an equal to part to this inequality. So C is less than or equal to 900. Make sure you understand why there's an equal to part here. Okay, the third example. He practices no less than 2.5 hours per day. No less than 2.5. Is 2.5 included? It is. So P is greater than or equal to 2.5. You could have used H for hours. I used P for practice. The next example, the average attendance is less than 15,000. Include 15,000 or not, and it should not be included. So A is less than 15,000. The monthly take-home pay is over 3,000. Once again, 3,000 is not included. The discount is at least 5%. This time we are including 5%. D is greater than or equal to 5%. The tax rate is under 40%. R is less than 40%. The population is greater than 500,000. P is greater than 500,000. The enrollment is at most 30. So that means 30 is included, so enrollment is less than or equal to 30. And the mileage exceeds 35 miles per gallon. So M is greater than 35. Okay, I hope that helps. For sure, email me if you have any questions.